If you had a time machine and you could travel back to the year 2013, and while you're there, you can pick out 5 Hero Factory sets that you can take with you back to the present day. Well, what 5 sets are you gonna pick? Well, to help you out, I'll share my top 5 picks and a few honorable mentions as well, and let's see if my list matches up with your list. Let's dive in. The last set I'll be picking out, my number 5 spot, that goes to Brain Attack Breeze. This is easily one of the best designs for this wave. Best designs for the heroes, that is. There's some pretty good ones coming up. Plus, this is a set with phenomenal pieces, and one of the best pieces in this set is this lovely mask. It's a delight to get this mask in silver because many other versions of Breeze came with a lime mask, which was cool, but you know, silver is a color that's way easier to use when you're building mocks. It's just a color that you see more commonly than lime. So I feel like you can get a lot more uses out of this beautiful silver version. And plus they modified this mask a little bit. They did that with all the different heroes in this wave, you know, giving them that protective visor over the top of the mask. It meant that each one needed to have a changed up mask so that the visor could actually go over the top. So the changes they made was just kind of like smoothing out the front of the mask, and honestly, I think this looks way better than the original mask. Plus, I think it is also worth saying, this visor idea that each of the heroes had, it's awesome. Making it so that the brain slugs can't infect the heroes because they've got this visor in the way, that's a really fun idea. And it's also great because it adds an extra layer of customization to each of these masks, because you can put whatever you want on there, swap out those visors, and you can get up to all sorts of good shenanigans when you're building. Extra room for playability, customization, and mocking potential, that's a win in my books. Also, this new torso design, which was a staple across all the different heroes, that's so cool. The way they use those Exoforce robot arm pieces to lock in that core so that it can't be ripped out. That was a very nice touch and a great way to get some really cool new colors for those Exoforce robot arm pieces. Now look, the heroes in the Brain Attack wave, they weren't all executed perfectly, but Breeze, I think, is one of the best examples of heroes done right. Certainly one of the best in the wave. The next set that I'll be picking up, it's a bit of a wacky and obscure one, but I do love it. It's 40084 Accessory Pack. So the Brain Slug idea, it was a staple of this wave. Each one had a different color depending on the set that it came in, but you could get an exclusive black Brain Slug in this exclusive set. So how exactly could you buy this? Well, it was only available at LEGO Shop at Home or official LEGO stores, and it was a gift with purchase. It came for free with any Hero Factory purchase between July 15th and August 31st back in 2013. Now, at the time that this came out, Australia still didn't have any LEGO stores anywhere within the country. And, you know, I seem to recall that LEGO.com wouldn't let me get one, or at least it wouldn't ship it to Australia. I'm not 100% sure, but I remember that being the case, that I wasn't able to get one easily. But my old mate ShadowGear6335, otherwise known as Brendan, he helped me out. We decided to do a fun little exchange. He'd send me this set in the mail, along with a few extra surprises, and then I'd send him something nice as a little care package. What I ended up getting, of course, was this set, and also a copy of Brain Attack Surge, and a few other goodies as well. And then I sent him, well, wait for later on in the video and I'll let you know what I sent him. But yeah, I think of my friend Brendan every time I look at this toy, and you know, it's just nice that someone was able to help me out like that. I always appreciate that. What a good guy. So yes, I love this set for those memories, but also it's a nice little rarity. A black Brain Slug is pretty cool, and you know, it's one of the very few Bionicle related or Construction Hero Factory related gift with purchase sets. So yeah, how cool is that? Plus, you know, you also get this cool sword with this little nice accessory pack, which looks very similar to Ferno XL's sword, but it is a bit different. Now, I can get behind that. You know, a cute little accessory pack that encourages you to upgrade your heroes with new weaponry, and you also get the little black Brain Slug, so a fun villain for them to fight. Or maybe you could build your own thing with that black Brain Slug. This set just feels very in the spirit of LEGO. It's fun. A solid gift with purchase right here. The third set that I'll be picking up, you know this one. It's a fan favorite. It's Dragon Bolt. You can't go wrong with a big, mean, strong-looking dragon. You know, that new dragon face mold, it's simply incredible, and it fits a dragon just perfectly. I've seen a lot of people use it in dragon-related mocks. It's just that good. Also, I love seeing more creatures built with CCBS pieces. After all, it is called the Character and Creature Building System, CCBS. So, you know, this lovely creature is a nice departure from the more traditional humanoid designs that we very often see, and I like that. You know, sure, we did get other animal-related creatures in previous Hero Factory sets and previous waves, and they were awesome, but you know, the vast majority of Hero Factory characters, well, they're humanoid builds. So a little bit of variety, I can always appreciate that. Plus, Dragon Bolt had the coolest looking Brain Slug. The coloration on this one is easily my favorite, and the fact that the eyes and the spikes at the top, they glow in the dark, that's just great. It certainly sets this one apart from the others. Also, I think this is a solid parts pack. Some lovely yellow swords, a bunch of these electricity pieces for the wings, and then you get so much blue and a lot of black pieces. It's just a real treasure of a set. This is one of the more unique and very impressive Titan sets to come out of all of Hero Factory. Gotta love it. The next set I'm picking up, this is in the number 2 spot. Well, it's another Titan. This time, it's Ferno XL. Now, all the different XL characters are fantastic sets, and they did a brilliant job with Ferno XL. He is no exception to that rule. All the XLs rock. Now, they gave him an awesome new mask. This one's a little bit more of a buffed up version to Ferno's original mask, so this way it fits with the new scale of this set. And again, I think this is another brilliant mask. It's very, very similar to what I was saying before about Breeze's improved mask. It's offering some very subtle changes to a classic design, and it's also combining it with this lovely new visor. Everything about this is awesome. And honestly, I think this visor piece, it might just be the best visor that we got from all these different heroes. Sure, the totally translucent visor on, say, Breeze is lovely. The fact that there's no printing on there, that's great. But I do enjoy that this piece does have that little bit of printing, but it doesn't really detract from the face at all. The grey colors up against a trans-clear background, they're not too over the top. When you think about, say, Brain Attack Surge's visor, it's just a little bit too over the top, and I think it covers up too much of his awesome mask. But Ferno's printing, it offers just the right level of detail, so I can appreciate that. The new sword design is lovely, and also this shield is pretty cool. I like the big H on the front there. Some nice branding going in, and Mr. Makahiro was doing a good job with branding his heroes. But I also like that the fact that this H is directly on the split part of that shield. So if you were to take this apart and put it on your own mocks that have nothing to do with Hero Factory, you're not going to see this big obnoxious H right on the front there. I'm glad they designed around that, that's cool. Oh, and Ferno XL has a lovely cape as well. Any set with a cape, it's a banger. Love this one. Okay, let's quickly touch on some honorable mentions and then we'll get to the number 1 spot. In no particular order, the first honorable mention belongs to Pyrox. You remember my story from before where I said I sent Brendan a set and a few other goodies? Well, this was the set that I sent him. Now, why did I send him this one? Well, at the time on his YouTube channel, he'd posted reviews for all the other villains in the Breakout Wave, but not Pyrox. And I sent it to him in the hopes that he'd review the set. He never ended up doing so, but I certainly reminded him many times when we did, Skype calls and chatted and stuff. In a friendly way, it was just a bit of banter sort of thing. But yeah, some nice memories there, and whenever I see Pyrox, I think of my friend Brendan, so some good memories, but also Pyrox comes with some lovely dark red armor, and I think that's great. Now, something about the Brain Attack villains. To me, a lot of them look like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle villains. And look, I mean that in the nicest possible way. But they do have, bigger exaggerated proportions, they have sillier looking masks, and they kind of look a lot like mutated animals because they kind of were in the story. They've got your big eyes, huge teeth, they really fit that description, at least in my eyes. And when you compare them to, say, the elegance of some of the Breakout villains, they maybe aren't as cool. But Pyrox was cool. I liked him. I like the other ones too, to be fair, but they're certainly some of the wackiest villains that we ever got. But to be fair, that's also just the vibe of Brain Attack. Evil slugs that take over people's minds and possess them. It's, like some old-fashioned horror movie. I like that this leans a little bit into the wacky side of things. It's right in the spirit of Hero Factory, after all. And I think Pyrox leans into that in all the right ways. Jet Rocker is up next. Now, this was another set that I never bought and I still don't own, but I reckon if I did buy this set, he'd probably be in my top 5. But since I've never even held this set when it's been built, it's a little hard to judge, so I'm sticking it here in the honorable mentions because I think it looks cool. I mean, the idea of Rocker with a giant jetpack that's got these cool blade wings and some nice shooter blasters, what's not to love? And I wonder if this jetpack concept or any other sort of attachments that go on top of heroes, I wonder if that was a concept that was going to stick around for future waves of Hero Factory if it actually kept going. I think it's a great idea and it certainly feels like it could have stuck around in a similar way to the concept of XL characters and how that stuck around. Yes, I know the next wave is Invasion from Below and we got mech suits, which is certainly in the vein of that, but if we did go back to full-size construction figures without the kind of minifigure concept, maybe we could have seen cool add-on things like jetpacks or weapon turrets that sort of fold over the shoulders and offer additional weaponry for heroes. Maybe we could have seen concepts like that on larger Titan sets for other characters, and that would have been cool. So hopefully one day I can own this set and then I can form a more proper opinion on it. Another honorable mention goes to Brain Attack Stormer. I think it was just a really nice hero design with some cool pieces, like these nice white fur parts, and Stormer's got a new modified mask, a real beauty, really like that mask, and also some flick fire missile cannons on the shoulders. Lots of fun. Now for Ogrim, and honestly Ogrim could have made this top 5 list, but he's in the honorable mentions. Many great colors in this set, like dark green and brown. Oh, baby, I love it. Also, Ogrim's mask. That's a good mask. Like we see on the set, it works as a good face design, but I've also seen people use it for torso armor, shoulder armor, waist armor, even like a cool looking samurai mask. It's such a fun and versatile piece. And look, he looks decent as a set himself, but mate, it is an incredible parts pack. I might have to squeeze one of these in on the time machine that, the time machine that somehow can only hold 5 sets. Surely I can bring an extra one with me in this made up scenario. And finally, Brain Attack Evo. Evo looks good in basically any set that he comes in, and this is no exception. A fun weapon design that can open and close and spin and pose. I love it. Also, Evo had another great mask design that was redesigned to accommodate this visor. Everything about him's cool. Alright, but what's the first set that I'm grabbing? What's that number 1 spot? Well, you may have guessed this one, and you also may be surprised by this one too. I assure you there's a little more to this than you might think at first, so stick with me here. My number 1 spot, it goes to Brain Attack Surge. Kinda. So, look, Surge himself, a real beauty, a very cool design, some nice wings, a fun weapon. He's great. Although, I actually do love this mask change. It's got the same energy as the classic one. It's not as cool as the classic one, but it is a very nice improvement that changes things up in some nice subtle ways. I can appreciate that. I really do like this. Maybe when I'm like 80 years old, this will be my new icon as it's like an older, gruffer looking Cossie. We'll see when the time comes, that's a while away. But yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of the visor over the top of it. It hides too much of his handsome face. And like I said, it's a little too busy. I think a lot of Brain Attack Surge is a little too busy. We got a lot of different translucent colors here, and this extra bit of trans green on the weapon as well. Then we also have silver armor, gunmetal wings, blue highlights, and hints of yellow. There's just so much going on, it just looks so messy. Swapping out a lot of these translucent colors for blue might have looked a lot better if I'm honest. But the true number 1 spot, which fixes all of these problems, it goes to the real number 1 spot, and that is still technically Surge, but as he appears in this set, which is 66482 Brain Attack Super Pack 2-in-1. And this awesome set gives you a combo model of both Surge and Dragon Bolt in the one set, and you get to build this incredible model of the two of them combined. You get some pieces left over, but still, it looks good. Now I had to borrow this image here from Jang Bricks for his review of this combo model, and had to find a few other images of this combo model online because there's not a lot of images of this thing out there, and most of them aren't the highest quality images, so I apologize in advance. You may or may not see a review of this a little bit later. I might try and dig up the pieces for these sets and build this combo model and review it. We'll just have to wait and see. Maybe. But look, this combo model, like I said, it tidies up the colors so much. There's still a lot going on, but it's a lot less messy this time. And also, Surge with dragon wings and a cool spear and a nice shield? That's sick! My boy has never looked better. I love this combo model and I love this set. Hopefully one day I can actually own this set, although I think I'd struggle to open that box because it's so cool and so rare. I believe this was another one of those South Korea exclusive combo model sets, which I wish we got those in other places other than South Korea. This is cool. But yeah, maybe there'll be a review of this combo model coming soon. Maybe. So that's that. Did you enjoy my picks? What sets would you pick up when you take your time machine back to 2013? And did you like Brain Attack at all? I think Brain Attack's probably my least favorite wave of Hero Factory, but that doesn't stop the set still from being pretty cool. There's some good ones here, definitely. So let me know what you think of this wave of Hero Factory sets and what sets you'd pick up. Very keen to hear it in the comments below. Thanks guys, love you tons, happy building, and bye for now.